common and seemingly innocent idea in the modern world of yoga practitioners and spiritual seekers is that enlightenment requires a highly flexible, physically fit and healthy body. Among contemporary yoga practitioners, there is often the misconception that mastering the 8 limbs of yoga through daily asana practice, disciplined physical exercises, purification techniques, pranayama, and the other limbs is the only reliable way to attain yoga's ultimate goal, liberation, the end of the cycles of death and rebirth. Although walking the 8-foot path of yoga can indeed be a genuine route that teaches one to turn inward and quiet the mind, it is not necessarily and certainly not always the key to our own individual liberation, nor is it by any means the only thing that can truly be called yoga. Let us mention a few of the most renowned yogic masters who are considered enlightened: Neem Karoli Baba, Nisargadatta Maharaj, and Ramana Maharshi. All 3 were true yogis, yet none of them were particularly healthy or strong in the physical sense of the word. How then is it possible that they are regarded among the most realized yogis of all time? How is it that through their teachings they were able to transmit the very essence of yoga with such immense power, and that their wisdom continues, even after their deaths, to lead people out of darkness, to heal and to vibrate throughout the world? Let's take a closer look at them. Neem Karoli Baba was born around 1900 under the name Lakshman Narayan Sharma in Uttar Pradesh, India. He was an extraordinarily humble yet exceptional Hindu saint whose simple message, love, service, and devotion inspired millions. He spent most of his life quietly in northern India, becoming known not through preaching or writing, but through his sheer presence and the countless miraculous stories told by those who met him. His teachings reached the Western world through his disciple Ram Das's book, Be Here Now, which spread Neem Karoli Baba's influence far beyond India. There is no evidence that he ever practiced asana. In his later years, he suffered from serious health problems and passed away in Vrindavan in 1973 in a diabetic coma. Nisargadatta Maharaj was born in 1897 in India. He was a teacher of non-duality and belonged to the Inchegiri branch of the Navnath lineage. He spent his childhood in Maharashtra and after his father's death moved to Bombay, where he supported his family by running a small shop selling bidi, hand-rolled cigarettes. In 1933, he met his guru, Sitarameshwar Maharaj, who taught him Atmavichara, self-inquiry, and the meditation on I am. Through deep inner practice and self-reflection, Nisargadatta walked the path of realization, living a simple life in Mumbai until his death. His teachings focused on direct self-investigation, transcending identification with the body and mind, and realizing one's true nature beyond thought. There is no indication that he ever engaged in formal asana or pranayama practice. Interestingly, he remained a passionate smoker throughout his life, yet attributed no importance to it, since he did not identify himself with the physical body. Ramana Maharshi was born in 1879 in Tiruchuri, Tamil Nadu. At the age of 16, he underwent a spontaneous death experience, during which he realized that while the body may perish, the true self, pure consciousness, is eternal. Soon after, he left his home and went to Arunachala, where he spent the rest of his life. Disciples soon gathered around him, and thus his ashram was established, today one of the most significant spiritual centers in India. His main teaching was Atmavichara, self-inquiry, based on the question, who am I?, which he regarded as the most direct path to self-realization. He never emphasized physical practice. He mentioned pranayama only as a tool to help discipline the mind, but always reminded his followers that they must go beyond it into deeper meditative states. He lived a highly ascetic and austere life, often undernourished, neglecting his body completely, yet his detachment was itself the essence of his realization. All three were yogis. All three are revered as enlightened beings. How is this possible if they were neither healthy, strong, nor flexible in the modern physical sense? Why does the image of the perfect yogi in most people's mind, even among yoga practitioners today, still resemble a young, fit, flexible, and aesthetically ideal body? The reasons are complex and lie primarily in the distortion and oversimplification of the concept of yoga in the modern world. When one hears the word yoga today, in most places it immediately evokes the image of people practicing some kind of yoga poses. Yet we must learn and accept that the paths of yoga are many. The word yoga has come to encompass numerous practices that are not truly yoga, while many genuine forms of yoga are ignored or overlooked. The path leading to liberation and enlightenment through yoga can take many different forms. Although the paths differ, they all lead to the same destination, the dissolution of the ego and the realization of the unchanging essence within us, the absolute reality. Yoga is the realization of the unity of Atman and Brahman, the individual or true self, and the ultimate all-pervading reality of the universe. The Bhagavad Gita presents a synthesis of the 6 classical darshanas, the traditional schools of Indian philosophy, with particular emphasis on Samkhya, Yoga, Mimamsa, and Vedanta. From this synthesis emerge the 4 main paths described in the Gita: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. Karma Yoga is the path of selfless action and service. Bhakti Yoga is the path of love and devotion, awakening one's relationship with the divine. Jnana Yoga is the path of knowledge and discernment between reality and illusion. Jnana Yoga or Raja Yoga, the path of meditation and mental discipline. Based on this, we can call Neem Karoli Baba a Bhakti yogi. Through the yoga of love and devotion, he guided countless people out of suffering and spread light and wisdom throughout the world. Nisargadatta Maharaj and Ramana Maharshi, on the other hand, were jnana yogis, those who follow the path of direct knowledge and self-realization without ritual or physical practice. They taught Atmavichara, self-inquiry through the question, who am I, as the way to recognize the true self. From this, it becomes clear that the essence of yoga lies not in physical flexibility, but in the dissolution of the ego and the realization of reality itself. According to yogic philosophies, liberation does not occur exclusively through jnana or raja yoga. So through the eightfold system of Patanjali, which demands great physical awareness and discipline, although it is indeed an effective and accessible toolbox for the modern seeker, capable of calming the restless mind through various methods, refining the body into an instrument, capable of decoding and mediating the higher truths to the practitioner. And since we are speaking of liberation, if we accept that it truly exists, we should also consider releasing the illusion that it can be attained only through the teachings of yoga. Many great masters agree, liberation, often referred to as enlightenment in other traditions, is not the result of any particular method or religious system, but the direct recognition of the true nature of consciousness itself. The same realization may unfold through any authentic spiritual path, whether Buddhism, Christian mysticism, or Sufism. In every case, the essence remains the same, seeing through the illusion of separateness and the direct experience of oneness. As the Bhagavad Gita teaches, just as many paths lead to the mountain summit, so too the different paths of yoga all lead to the same goal. But which path is the most suitable for us? That depends on our karma, our nature, our circumstances, and on our dharma. Most often, we need a touch of each in order finally find our way home. The philosophies of yoga are vast and varied. This reflection was created not to be exhaustive, but to offer a glimpse into the greater wholeness. Let us also keep in mind that throughout history, under the influence of the Vedas, the Upanishads, other sacred texts, religions, as well as cultural and historical developments, countless traditions, philosophies, and schools have emerged. These are often grouped under the single term, yoga, even though they offer diverse paths and possibilities for those seeking freedom from suffering and walking the path toward enlightenment and liberation. Thank you for your precious attention. Share this with someone who might benefit from it. Feel free to ask questions and share your thoughts in the comments. Follow the Modern Yogis community here and on Instagram. Keep your curiosity and love for wisdom alive.